Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Hemanthkumar. I'm a product evangelist at Tavant for the VLOG's lending suite of products. We are in Tavant FinDecision AUS Services Encompass overview. Let me take a quick moment to introduce Tavant. We are a Silicon Valley company headquartered in Santa Clara, California. We are a global organization, operates across geography. We have 20 years of deep domain knowledge in lending space, and we are a true leader in fintech space. We are a pro-elite partner with Ellie Mae. We partner with Ellie Mae for customer engagements and implementation. With that, let's get started with FinDecision. FinDecision, this is the first of kind product service where our primary focus is to optimize and innovate solutions within middle office in loan processing, that is underwriting and loan processing space. So let me start with a story about FinDecision. Today, if anyone wants to read a book, the first thing what we do is read the synopsis of the book. This helps the reader to understand the content in the book as well as the depth of the story part. Similarly, if you want to watch a movie, we all follow a trailer. We see the trailer and then we watch a movie. We wanted to take this user behavior and bring it into our product suite. FinDecision allows the user, which is an underwriter or a processor, ability to view the AUS summary to understand the multiple dimensions of the loan in a single glance. It helps you to understand at the borrower level, at the loan level, what are all the flags, what are all the notifications, what a user should pay key attention to, right? So this is the starting point of the AUS analysis summary within FinDecision. So let me talk about the business case, what we have created with FinDecision, right? The way I've done it is I've created everything in bite size so that it is easy for us to follow and understand the value what the product brings to the table. The first problem case is, so here we are going to talk about the business case. I've made this in bite size so that it is very easy for everyone to follow and understand the value what FinDecision brings to the table. There are four main business challenges what we face today as per our industry research and analysis, right? Number one, every lender has this question: how do I reduce the loan origination cost? Today, per the industry analysis, it takes anywhere between $8,000 to $8,500 to produce a loan. That is the loan origination cost. The cost involves technology, commission, other expenses. Now, how do we try to resolve this or reduce the origination cost? We have solved this in our FinDecision product, where we try to look for areas, potential areas where we can optimize or reduce the cost from borrower perspective and from lender perspective in terms of technology and other expenses. Second question, how do you reduce the overall processing time, right? Everyone has talked about it. In average, it takes anywhere between 25 to 45 days to process a loan. It all depends on the complexity of the loan, type of loan, and all the other parameters. With FinDecision product, we are trying to analyze how we can reduce this processing time from each and every touch point perspective, like, loan processor perspective, underwriter perspective, loan officer perspective, from there onwards, right? Then the third one is, how do I maintain operational fungibility, right? I have to run DU or I have to run LP. I never know where I am going to park this loan with which investor. How do I maintain that operational fungibility? How do I make this as agnostic? Then the fourth question is, how do I innovate in my middle office, right? Today, there are a lot of solutions which handles how to innovate with app intake process, right? digitalization of the loan, digital loan creation. FinDecision is first of its nature, which tries to innovate in the middle office, right? When you solve all these business problems, then you get the solution, right? How do I solve all these things? What is the solution, right? The biggest solution, what we want to do is we want to innovate and optimize in middle office so that whatever innovations you made on the front end in the app intake continues with the pace so that you will be able to effectively close the loan within a specific duration or time, right? Evaluate the loan file and make sure the loan file adheres to the investor guidelines and the loan file has been intact so that the user is created awareness on the data upfront, right? By doing all those things, you get the benefits. The benefits is you save dollars for your borrower, saying that there are possibilities where you can avoid certain segment of order request, right? One good example is the appraisal waiver, right? Both the agencies, Fannie and Freddie, give appraisal waiver, right? We will be able to understand whether we have received appraisal waiver and alert the loan officer, underwriter, processor so that we can avoid any duplication of effort in terms of placing an appraisal request even though there is an appraisal waiver is received, right? How do we reduce time? We look for possible waivers in terms of appraisal and in terms of the number of tax transcripts which has to be ordered, right? All these things are going to reduce the time in terms of someone ordering it, in terms of someone reviewing it, in terms of someone raising conditions based on that, right? We look for possible opportunities within this area to effectively originate and optimize the processing time. Then the last one is create efficiency and maintain operational fungibility, right? That means if you create an agnostic view of the AUS, then whatever changes it happens, you can make sure that you made the changes in one place. It will be impacted and reflected and carried forward for the life of the loan, right? So we will dig more into this and we will understand how the solution works. Now, before that, just 2 minutes on the AUS overview, right? Today, every lender, every user, which is a loan officer, underwriter, processor, does this process. What do? They create a loan and then they determine, the loan has to get into an AUS, whether a Fannie or Freddie, and then they submit the loan. When they submit the loan, you get those respective findings, right? Which are at the borrower level, income, asset, and all those findings, right? The user reviews each and every finding, and then either they create conditions or they follow up with the borrower, asking them for a respective questions or clarification. FinDecision helps you to resolve this end-to-end process, wherein we will be able to run Fannie and Freddie simultaneously, right, based on the loan file. Then we take the loan data, which is coming from Fannie and Freddie, along with the AUS findings. We use the knowledge repositories where we have created within FinDecision. It goes through all those knowledge repositories across income level, borrower level, asset level, credit level, collateral level. Then it tries to flag and look for various waivers, right? Appraisal waiver on Fannie Mae side, appraisal waiver on Freddie Mac side, looking for reps and warrants, right, at income, asset, and collateral, and then comparing the findings from Fannie and Freddie side by side so that the user is able to clearly understand at borrower level what are all the findings between both these agencies, at income level what are all the findings between both these agencies, at credit level, collateral, etc. Right? So that is the objective of FinDecision, where we analyze the AUS summary, AUS finding, create a detailed view of the AUS by providing what are all the waivers received at the application level between the agency and a side-by-side comparison to show the findings between both these agencies. In this way, the end user will be clearly aware of the findings between both the agencies and the optimization which they can take in terms of if there is an appraisal waiver, create flags where you can go and stop the ordering the appraisal process in terms of reserves, flag how much reserves are being used, right? Let me take to the next slide. Our FinDecision has been integrated with Encompass. Our solution is already available in marketplace. This is a high-level snapshot of how FinDecision integrates with Encompass natively, right? For easy reference, the user logs in or access the loan file, right? When they access the loan file, there will be a new menu or a screen which is called FinDecision. Now, here in this new screen, we have ensured if the loan has to run DU and LP, whatever common fields and the respective fields which is needed for the agency are being populated into the screen. When the user selects the data and when they submit, we perform a exclusive data integrity check. That means if you have opted to run DU and LP, we validate the conditional and required fields which are needed to run these agency AUS. Upfront, alert the user where if there are fields are missing. If all the fields have been available, the required fields are available, then we invoke DU and LP through Ellie Mae's native open APIs. We use all these things within the Encompass ecosystem. We run DU and LP using open API. We take the response, we consolidate the response, we make it as one single file, and we call the external service, which is FinDecision in this case. When it comes to FinDecision, we analyze each agency's AUS findings. We go through a series of checks. We have close to 9,500 rules defined in this application, where we have multiple knowledge-based stores created for each and every agency across these various segments of borrower, asset, income, collateral, credit, property. We run through all those rules and then we create a side-by-side comparison report. This report will be an intuitive report where when the user views it, they will be able to immediately understand where is the waiver, where is that I can save money, how much I can save in the processing time, what are all the areas where I can save processing time, whether I received income, asset, reps and warrant at the application level or at the borrower level. Then side-by-side comparison of the AUS findings between Fannie and Freddie, right? When along with this report, we also create an XML, a system generated format data, so that any lender can use this data and create additional workflows enhancement. For example, if we find out that there is an appraisal waiver, then you can use those flags and go and define process, structure, tasks, and create workflows within Encompass. Now, this solution can be run n number of times within Encompass, and every time when the user runs this solution, we update Encompass AUS tracking and we keep everything intact. That means the AUS history, AUS tracking, updating the e-folders, everything are kept intact. That's the high level functional overview of this solution. Now, this is the sample view of this report. Just before I get into the detailed demo, I just wanted to show you guys that this is how our comparison looks like. We look for AUS responses, review the findings, and look for the equivalent way where we can optimize and show in a visual representation, right? It shows the number of findings, it shows the eligibility, appraisal, income, asset, validation across the agencies, then at income level, asset level, how much has been verified and validated, then followed by the side-by-side comparison of these AUS findings, right? With that, let's get into the actual demo. Before we move on, the objective of creating this operational efficiency report in FinDecision is to save processing time and reduce the operational cost. With that, let's get into the demo. I'm going to access Encompass. and then perform this demo. Now, this is a local instance of Encompass where our plugin solution has been already deployed. I am accessing a test loan. When you access the test loan, you're going to land onto the native Encompass landing screen. I'm going to show you how to navigate, find this new form. When you click on forms, then you scroll all the way down, select show all, and filter by alphabetical. Then you can look for FinDecision in this forms. Now, this is the form which we have built within Encompass, which handles all the required fields which are needed for Fannie and Freddie and the common delta fields. That means you can pick and choose the credit agency which you can run for both. You can, select the configurations where you can say first run Fannie, first run Freddie. Then you can predefine the sequence, how you want to run Fannie and Freddie, and whatever day one certainty which has been already completed in the file, it gets automatically populated over here, right? On click of submit decision, that is where we invoke the capability of running Fannie and Freddie from Encompass as the instance. I click on submit FinDecision. Now, behind the scene, we have created workflows where it goes and looks for all the data elements which is needed for Fannie and Freddie. It looks for conditional fields and required fields. If there are any fields which are missing for their respective agencies, there will be a pop-up screen over here which displays the list of fields which are missing at the application level. Once the user fixes all those fields, then you will be able to save it, rerun the process, right? This process is followed till the time we achieve all the minimum required fields what are defined by the agency. Now, as you see, we are in the process of submitting to Fannie, Freddie, and now we have submitted to DU. Now, behind the scene, we use the Ellie Mae's open API. We run through the process. We integrate with these agency, get the file. We also update Encompass in real time for the data and the documents. When I say data, we update the metadata saying that the date and timestamp of Freddie Mac report which ran through, date and timestamp of Fannie Mae report which ran through. Once these both reports are available, then we are going to consolidate the report and send it to FinDecision for services. Right? When I say FinDecision for services, I'm referring to the AUS analysis. Right? We are still in the process of running through with the DU. Once the DU file is completed, then we will be invoking the FinDecision native API. All these things happens within Ellie Mae's ecosystem, that is running LPA and running DU. As you can see here, it has been submitting to FinDecision. Now, once it goes to FinDecision, it analyzes DU and LP AUS findings. It goes through the series and checks and balances what it has to follow. Line by line review of each findings, creates a side-by-side comparison, creates a task where it is going to identify what are all the list of appraisal waivers in Fannie side, what are all the list of income validation, asset validation, day one certainty, what are on the Freddie side, ACE eligibilities. It is going to identify reps and warrant, income, asset, collateral, and the property waiver. Then it also going to do the side-by-side comparison of the report, create the report, publish the report, and along with that, it also gives the system readable version of the report so that we can deploy those data related attributes immediately into the system and create a workflow enablement. Now the process has been completed. We display the summary over here, the date and time, when it ran, who ran, and all those things. When you click on open report, then it opens the PDF. What you're seeing here is the PDF report, wherein you will be able to see the side-by-side comparison of DU and LP. What are all the flags which are being received so that the lender can make a determination the areas where they can optimize cost and they can optimize time for the borrower and reduce the appraisal. So here we have a waiver on the appraisal waiver. That means a potential savings up to $1,000 for the borrower, as well as there are some savings in processing time where we are going to avoid underwriting, appraisal underwriting, ordering the appraisal, follow-ups on the appraisal. And all those things are controlled and enabled through a process enforcement where you can set the flags to stop the process of ordering appraisal by mistakenly if the user didn't pay attention. Now, along with this, we also do the side-by-side comparison of AUS findings at the borrower level, at the income level, employment level, social security level, and employment and asset level. Right? This is the complete end-to-end summary analysis provided by FinDecision AUS summary. With that, let me take you guys back into the PowerPoint presentation. So I wanted to quickly highlight the operational efficiencies and the business value, what the solution brings, right? We look for the appraisal waiver, we look for the AS eligibility waiver so that you can optimize the origination cost by reducing the appraisal waiver program, and also it saves the appraisal underwriter's time and the follow-up. Income asset collateral representation warranties, which helps the lender to leverage on the repurchase and breach of certain selling representation. Similarly, on the documentation and checklist, it differentiates within the AUS how many number of findings are checklist level versus how many number of findings are the actual AUS conditions which has to be created. Now, this solution will be available in Ellie Mae's marketplace. We have made this as simple as we can use. This is a SaaS offering. You will be able to find our solution on Ellie Mae's marketplace. When you click on interested or inquiry, then we will be notified saying that who is interested, and then we will get in touch with you. The solution has been made so simple. Within 5 days, you can turn on and you can go live. That is, from our side, we are just going to deploy this plugin into your instance of Encompass and a turnkey into the AWS to create the services for you so that you will be able to invoke this AUS validation service across your channel within a short period of time and take advantage of the values what this FinDecision brings to the lender in terms of operational efficiency and operational gain. With that, I wanted to take a moment. I wanted to thank you all for listening on to the VLOG suite of product offering, and really happy to take all the questions or any questions available at this point in time. Thank you.